bit about school. I'm also doing creative business, but at a different school.
Yeah.
Not this one. It's quite different. It's a lot more boring, actually. We don't make podcasts. This is a lot more exciting. I enjoy playing competitive FPSs, and that's where my interests lie as well, kind of in the gaming industry, I guess.
This is Player Directive with Jack Jutras and Balázs Parag.
There's this YouTube channel that I found a while back who I don't really agree with everything. I don't really agree with everything he says, but he is Threat Interactive, and he just goes after video games and just makes it as if they are intentionally trying to be bad. But he
Yeah.
hates TAA, which is something that's pushed by Unreal and stuff like that. Temporal anti-aliasing. It's like you'll have like the jagged edges in a video game where if you have like a thin wire or something like that in the game, it'll appear jagged and like stair-stepped.
Oh yeah, because it's just like so thin you can kind of see the pixels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then anti-aliasing will try and smooth that and make it so that some pixels control like half of the wires. And there's different ways of doing that. That's anti-aliasing. Temporal anti-aliasing takes information from previous frames, and then it will sort of like jitter them a little bit. So that way you take a sample from one part of the image and then from the previous frame as well, and you try and see where it is roughly. And before, what some other anti-aliasing techniques would do is they would just pretty much sort of super sample edges, where they would render. I don't entirely know the details, of course,
Yeah.
but they would just render a higher resolution in certain areas, effectively meaning that it would cost a lot more performance. And TAA is a way to get around that.
Generally speaking, I can agree with the statement of like they are trying to push out software that is completely unnecessary in games
Yeah.
because I think like over the course of like the last 10 years, if you look at just like graphics and audio, we have not really seen that much improvement unless you are willing to spend like thousands of dollars on like an insane PC, insane 8K monitor.
Yeah, but that's also the thing as well, is that these monitors are getting much better faster than computer hardware is. And we're seeing like new monitors come out that have like 1440p, 480
It's
hertz,
like
and
the
like
same thing when like plasma TV came out, but there were no like uh, cable
yeah,
networks that would support the HD resolution because it was just not popular enough.
yeah, and a lot of different games. But people do like high resolution, and high resolution not as much, but for like competitive FPS, definitely high refresh rate. Like that's really important.
Yeah, but that's you can achieve that without having too much to spend on graphics. Like CS has like I think CS is like okay
Ooh,
in
okay.
optimization.
They've gotten
Sometimes
better.
so it could be better, of course, but like if
It
I
used to be worse. They've gotten better.
yeah, exactly. But if I look at like PUBG or something like that,
Yeah.
you know, or like even I don't know what could be considered a contender besides Valorant, but I'm not a big fan of Valorant. So like I think CS has a pretty nice game feel. And the game is like 40 something or like 50 gigabytes, which like goes to show you that they don't, you know, like it's not like Warzone where you have fucking 250 gigabytes of shaders and like uncompressed audio.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe Horizon Zero Dawn
Okay.
that the game was like insanely large because there was like 80 gigabytes of uncompressed audio files.
That's
and
wild.
and then because of that it was just like 200 gigabytes or something.
I wonder if they're doing that on purpose. Like if it's like a strategic reason, like they know consoles can only hold their one game, right? So like Call of
Yeah.
Duty is like they might be able to play Battlefield if we don't make it so that they can only have Call of Duty. If they can only have Call of Duty on their console, that's the only game they will play.
Yeah,
Like it could actually be a strategic thing.
it's kind of reminiscent of that, like in the like what we also learned. I don't know if you guys also had this, how hands-on you guys are with equipment on your creative business course, but for us,
Not really.
for us, they also taught us that since the 80s, recording equipment has not necessarily improved that much.
Really?
Like sound recording, for example, it's
Mm.
just the affordability of like, can you afford to get the cleanest picture, cleanest audio?
Yeah, sound definitely. It is. Yeah. Okay, this one came out and people hated it, right? Have you seen that?
Not really, but I see it doesn't have too good reviews. Yeah.
Yeah, 4.3.
6.10.
That's pretty high actually.
Hey, let's see actually the Steam reviews.
Very mixed. But
That's
anyways, the
not
game
good.
came out, performed like shit,
Yeah.
and people got mad. And also, one of the things with temporal anti-aliasing, like I said, is that you need to implement it correctly. If you have moving objects and the game engine doesn't know that they're moving, you'll get ghosting. You'll get trails behind the images because it takes
Okay.
images from previous frames and then it'll try and combine it and overlay it with the previous image.
Hmm.
But if it doesn't know it's moving, you'll just get a trail. And Borderlands had that a ton. Like if you scoped in a weapon and then panned, it would get like a crazy trail behind it. And the game had poor FPS, poor optimization, and looked blurry and heavily relied on DLSS upscaling, and was also made in Unreal Engine 5. And it's
Yeah.
not the only game that is like that. I'm having trouble coming up with games off the top of my head, but there's been a few games with Unreal Engine where they would kind of release it, go for the latest technologies, say we're ray tracing everything, and then upscaling it when it doesn't run properly. And people hated it. It doesn't work. It doesn't look nice. And Unreal Engine 5 caught a lot of the flack. People aren't mad at Unreal Engine because they have so many cool features. It's more that they would release some features and be like, oh, we have nanite, which means they don't need to have LODs, which are a level of detail. So like for
Yeah.
the way you get from a prop, you don't need as many like triangles to make it up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then they introduced a new system that would have that be done for you. And I said,
So
oh, you
it's
don't need the old system.
so
So the
it's
thing is
about
that the new
cutting
system,
corners more.
yeah, the new
Yeah.
system would kind of suck ass for performance, though,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
And like they wouldn't necessarily tell the developers that. They'd say you don't need to worry about all this old stuff. Meanwhile, if you didn't worry about the old stuff, your performance would be bad, and you'd end up with these new games that expect Unreal to just work better than previously, but it
Oh,
wouldn't.
yeah. There's definitely an over reliance in the gaming industry on like new tech because there's not much you can say at this point because pretty much every game can be like, oh, we have 4K, we have 140 FPS, we have 165 hertz refresh rate. It's not really impressive anymore for a AAA developer to release a game that has really cutting edge graphics or
I
uh,
don't know actually.
like for example we could take High Guard
High Guard.
which
Oh yeah, it's
was
also Unreal Engine 5. Looked blurry.
yeah
Doesn't run well.
yeah yeah exactly but
Marvel Rivals,
uh
in my opinion.
yeah, I mean Marvel Rivals as well, but at least that one has like an art style like
Oh,
which
does
is
it? I don't like that game.
I don't play Marvel Rivals, but at least I can say for it that it's not the like it has a unique art style kind of like what my problem is with a lot of new games like High Guard is a perfect example of this
Hmm.
is that on the at the Game Awards like fucking Jeff Keighley was hyping the shit out of it and then he's like fucking High Guard, welcome to High Guard, this is gonna be epic, this is gonna
Yeah,
be
I
the
saw the
best
Donkey
thing.
video. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gonna be so great. Well, I actually played High Guard like before I even saw the video, so
Mhm.
I already like was walking, but I didn't hear the hype. Like I was already walking away with this kind of wishy-washy. Couldn't make it
Yeah.
past the tutorial because it's like super generic, no nothing unique about it. It runs poorly, and it looks like every single fucking shooter released from the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's just like there comes a point which I think we are crossed now like a few years ago, and I think gamers are also slowly starting to notice that at this point it's not impressive to have good graphics, and it's not impressive to have like a nice landscape or like a big open area in a game like
Yeah, it's just gotten so easy as
yeah
a result of like Unreal Engine and stuff like
yeah
that, where
yeah
it's not special. That is the norm, yeah.
it's not special, and it's also should never be a selling point that you can have ultra
Yeah.
high graphics. That should never. You can enjoy good graphics, but I don't. I think if that's your measure of like a game being good or bad, then uh, need to refine your palette a
I
little bit
think
in
it
video
depends on the
games.
game, honestly. You have a lot of
What is a game you could say that is carried by graphics?
carried may be a strong word, but like Red Dead, for an example, looks gorgeous, and that is like a big part of the
Okay.
game. If Red Dead didn't look as good as it did, I
Okay,
don't
but
think it'd
if
be.
Red Dead was the shittiest story ever, would you play it?
No. but I
Yeah.
would still give it. I would say it has cool graphics.
Yeah.
But again, if it's like a competitive first-person shooter, I
Yeah.
couldn't care less about graphics. I want to be able to see the enemies and get high
Oh,
FPS.
exactly. But then think about it that way, that it's like that like graphics should be like the Parmesan cheese, you know,
Yeah,
on
yeah, okay,
top
fair.
of your pasta dish.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you eat a plate of Parmesan, that's not a very good meal, you know. Like it's fine. Like
Yeah, I like that take. Yeah. What is interesting about that though is that I think there is a bit of a split. The developers don't honestly care about performance that much. They'll target 4K 30 FPS for consoles, and they'll do that no matter what the hardware is. But the hardware manufacturers always feel like they need to be improving on the previous generation. So they say instead of last generation where it was like 4K 30 FPS, you can now do 4K 120 FPS with like AI upscaling. And then the game developers look at that and be like, "Oh, we just got a 4x performance boost. We can now make our graphics 4 times as intense and still aim for 4K 30 FPS."
yeah,
But meanwhile, what actually got the hardware up to like 4K 120, for an example,
yeah,
was just a whole bunch of AI upscaling, like a whole bunch of overlands of the TAA, and like frame interpolation and stuff like that going on,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is what NVIDIA was pushing a whole bunch. So you end up getting a result that performs much worse than expected because people don't want to use all the AI upscaling because it does
Mhm.
look worse than the native resolution.
Yeah, yeah.
So you just end up getting games that are further and further, um, more and more like relying on these types of upscaling as a
Yeah.
crutch, improving
That's
the
why
look.
I think that it's nicer if not necessarily that they use their own game engines, but maybe like have a unique art style. That's what
Yep.
if I see a game and it has like hyper realistic graphics, I'm like immediately uninterested,
Really?
like almost. Uh, I don't know. It's not eye catching. I've seen
Yeah.
1,000 games like this before, and it's no there's no charm. There's no nothing interesting about it. Like I don't play video games to have them look like real life. Like you know, that's it's supposed to be an escape
Yeah,
from
and again, it does depend what you're
yeah,
playing. Have you seen the game Body Cam?
body cam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that but that looks sick.
It
Like
does look sick.
body cam looks fucking
They
sick.
did also really lean into like the hyper realistic vibe, and it isn't technically super impressive, but like it looks realistic.
Yeah, but that's like the good adaptation, the good side of this coin. But there's a lot of games like that. I think Squad as well, or like
Mhm.
SWAT. I think, which is all essentially the same thing as body cam, and I think it's really impressive because it's making it realistic more through gameplay than like graphics. Like of course it
Yeah.
has really nice and really good graphics, but it's also about like you need to clear out a room, and there's like it's not just like, oh, enemy there, shoot them. It's also like, okay, maybe they have a civilian, force them to get on the ground, you know, put handcuffs on them. How do you proceed in like a more realistic real life situation instead of like Siege, which is
See,
a very arcadey uh, take
now at least.
on this kind of thing, which because it's a competitive shooter, so of course it's going to be more arcadey.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm fine with Nintendo charging more than $60 for a game.
Ooh.
Purely logically speaking, games have been around $60 for when it was the Atari. When it
Mhm.
was games for the Atari, they were around $30, I think. Which I mean, today's money, it was like $120 or
Yeah.
$150
Yeah.
or something like that. Inflation got us. But since 1985, 1986, around the time where like Nintendo was coming out with like the first Mario games, the 60 price has been set in stone since then.
Yep.
And since then, we have been getting games for $60.
Yep.
AAA games relatively usually would be going around $60. This results in like, you know, years down the line. It's been 40 years since since 85, which is crazy. But in 40 years there has been not really been much change in the pricing of video games.
I know. Good.
Yeah,
It's
which
good.
is fine. It's consumer friendly.
Yes.
It's good for the consumer. It is 100% is. But also at some point you do have to think about like how is this gonna be sustainable with prices getting looser and looser.
Yeah, I think as development costs do rise with like people trying to get more high fidelity graphics,
Yeah.
the price should maybe increase for some AAA
Yeah.
games. I don't think Nintendo is spending that much on development costs compared to like 10 years ago, honestly. I could be wrong.
I mean, maybe I think that the level of quality that certain games have can affect the pricing in
Yes.
my eyes,
Mhm.
and not necessarily on a technical level, but just like I
Okay,
think.
actually, no, I disagree.
Why?
Okay, a level of quality is more subjective, and you
Yeah,
can have an indie game that's super high quality and
yeah,
maybe beats out AAA games. It's not quality, it's the amount of effort spent,
yeah,
I think, which is not the same. And Nintendo isn't spending as much effort. Like if you look at their games and you put it next to Red Dead 2, they did not spend the same amount of money on like creating all those assets and stuff like that. Like they didn't pay as many artists. I feel like the game having the same cost isn't necessarily justified. Or having the game rise in cost is not necessarily justified by.
at least the 3D Mario games are notorious for having like insanely precise controls, like kind of like
Yeah.
I haven't really played the 3D Mario yet where I feel like it's clunky, but I have played a lot of AAA games which look really amazing but don't feel good to play.
I don't think.
uh,
Yeah, I think that might be more of like just a conscious choice, and like you don't need to pay a whole big team of people to do that.
yeah, maybe you don't need to have a big team to make that, but I think that is it justified to pay more for like a game that they spent more on if it's not quality. Like I know that quality is sometimes subjective, but
Mhm.
but there is objectivity in it. So should we still pay for things like Concord, which I'm sure they fucking spent millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars on
Yeah, that's also
Concord,
fun,
but then they shut down the game 2 weeks after the release. But I think that purely from a consumer perspective, 60 is an okay benchmark when you're gonna take a gamble on a game, because of course before you buy it you have no clue if you're gonna like it or not.
That
If
is also partly my issue with Nintendo as well, though, is because again, I don't play too many Pokemon games, but they're pretty sure that their Pokemon game is going to sell. They don't have to worry about it not selling too much.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
taking a
of
huge
course,
risk.
but I think that's the scummiest, I guess,
Yeah,
genre
I know like
and
FIFA
like
doing the same
IP.
thing as well, where they
Yeah,
just
yeah,
re-release the
yeah. I
same
mean,
game.
this is what we talked about kind of with Icon on the last episode.
Oh
That
yeah,
like because he's a huge Pokemon fan,
yeah.
and I can get the hype behind it. I have played like one Pokemon game throughout, and which was Omega Ruby. I had fun. It was
Mhm.
good. It was good to play, but I'm not gonna play another Pokemon game again because I kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
It's like gonna be the same thing, and that they always dual release so that they make like two games for 60
Oh,
bucks.
for real? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like
Two for
Pokemon's.
$60 each, and you
Yeah,
buy both of them to play them.
Pokemon Sword and Shield, same thing. And now they're gonna have the new Pokemon game, which I don't remember what the title was, but
Wait, sorry. So you pay €120 in total.
if you want to
Jesus.
play both games, yes. Same thing with Omega Ruby, which is like an older title on the 3DS. There's Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It's the same thing. They released two games that are
The same.
kind of the same at the same time, and both are 60 bucks. So like that I get. Like that the
Yeah.
hate behind it I can get. But like I think
Yeah.
if you're thinking about like arcade racing and open world and 3D platformer or 2D platformers even, I think like
They're hard to beat.
it's really hard to maybe you can have an argument about open world, but still Zelda is.
Nah, it's not the quality of the game that bothers me. I feel like you can enjoy the product a lot, and still,
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you enjoying it.
yeah,
But if
yeah.
you say, oh, it's fine that they're charging $60 because it's a good game, I'd be like, nah, come on. They could saying that for a
I will
lot
say
cheaper.
I am an absolute slave for Nintendo. I would pay fucking $120 for Super Mario Odyssey if I
You
had to
bastard.
buy
There's kids
it
in
again.
Africa who can't play Nintendo games because they cost like
Because
$60 every year, and you're supporting this. You know, it's like every
I'm
time.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's just I fucking love I love the 3D platformer genre, and I think that um there's literally no contender on that front, and that's why I will always hold the opinion that you can criticize Nintendo as a company
Hmm.
because they have no idea how to run a business. They're
Oh, they have a very good idea. They're making a ton of money.
they're making money, but they could make so much more money if they weren't if they didn't copyright strike every single YouTuber that talks about them, or
Actually don't think so. I think that they are specifically trying to optimize for money. I think it would be difficult for them
they
to squeeze much
definitely
more.
are optimizing for money,
But
but
yeah,
I think there's or they would make battle passes or some shit like that if you really wanted to make as
uh,
much money as possible. So
yeah,
they're not that's why I'm saying they are optimizing for money, but they're kind of brute forcing their way to money instead of kind of playing people to get more money. They are really scummy with their legal practices. They're insanely aggressive about copyright issues, and they sue people for fucking having Luigi themed birthday parties and
yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, you can
It's reason to hate
I
them.
really think that's a horrible thing to do, but they make really good games.
Yeah.
That part I can't really disagree with. And then people might say Crash Racing or Sonic Team Racing or Garfield Kart, even,
Garfield Kart's a banger. I still like that
Garfield
one.
Kart is fucking good, but or they can say Multiversus. Those games, those genres. It's not just that Nintendo kind of made it. It's that they rule
Yep.
the quality sector of it. I know a lot of people are not happy about Mario Kart X, but it looks like a pretty fucking good game. I know, but the main issues that people have is that it's not supported on the Switch One. I think.
Real? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I think they stripped it for the
Yeah.
new software, new
Yeah.
hardware.
Well, one thing that does surprise me actually is I'm surprised that they make their hardware so expensive because their hardware isn't impressive.
No,
And they could
no.
have, I think they could sell for cheaper, especially the Switch One, Switch Two. Actually, I haven't looked into, but the Switch One, they were selling at a huge profit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
it feels like if your game's already that expensive, you might want to sell as much hardware as possible. Like all the other consoles are selling at a loss.
yeah.
Like Xbox and PlayStation, they don't make money on their actual
How
console.
much is a new PlayStation?
I want to say 400, but I think it's probably more expensive.
The Switch 2 is also 400.
Yeah, and it's way less technically impressive.
Yeah.
PS5.
Let's check out
Y.
the.
Oh, you have Y over here.
Yeah.
430.
Yeah, this is around the same price.
They're not making money on that because they're making money on the games that they sell.
Yeah.
Switch is doing both, and they're outselling PlayStation, which is why.
I mean, definitely, they're not trying to get as technically impressive as the.
Which is fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Because I think
It's the price tag.
yeah, but realistically, I think that the only ones that you can take seriously are Nintendo and PlayStation.
Yeah.
I think if I think if you're Xbox, no hate to the Xbox people, but name one game that is worth buying the Xbox for.
Yeah, that kind of does
Like-
sadden me, honestly. I used to fundamentally just hate exclusives,
Yeah,
and I still kind of do. But it is definitely the winning strategy, so I don't think it's gonna stop. But
I mean, but it's also nice in the sense that if exclusives are the reason that consoles sell, that means that the more competitive the market, the better the
Yeah.
exclusives get.
yeah, but then you need to buy all the consoles.
Speaking to
Also,
that,
you also need to
that
buy all the
makes-
consoles to get all the games right. And just as a gamer, I want to be able to play all the games without having to worry about the hardware. I think it is worse for consumers.
That's true on the hardware side, but I think with the trend, for example, with God of War, that they release it as an exclusive on the
Mhm.
PlayStation, but 2 years later
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
you
As
get
a
to
PC
play
gamer.
on PC, because I'm completely fine with that, and that's
Mhm.
still PlayStation can have their money. They still get to come out with an exclusive to sell hardware, but also the game is really fucking good because I played both God of Wars and it's really fucking good.
Yeah. It used to be a lot worse as well, honestly. I think it has gotten better for the PlayStation, but it used to be. I remember when Fortnite came out, if you had a
Fortnite.
Fortnite, you couldn't play with other people who weren't playing on PlayStation. Like you couldn't cross-play on
Oh
Xbox
yeah.
or stuff. And then they backtracked on that eventually. But I remember getting mad about that, like back in the days. Like if
Yeah.
somebody had a PlayStation, I couldn't play with them, and that's just bullshit.
I mean, the thing that really pissed me off, the industry standard that Xbox set with Xbox Live, because
Oh, yeah, we have to pay monthly for the online.
yeah, because
Yeah.
if you remember back in the day, I had a PS3,
Okay.
and you could play online for free. You can just
Really?
you could just plug your console into the in with an Ethernet cable or
Yeah,
like
why did the Xbox
or like
360 win that generation then even? Was it just like the exclusives on
Halo,
Halo? Yeah, okay.
Halo 3.
Halo, that's it?
Literally just Halo
Bro.
3.
Oh.
The only reason Xbox exists as a console is because Halo.
And they dropped the ball pretty hard on that.
Yeah, like Halo 1 was like fucking top tier, and then Halo 2 as well. It like both games just kind of like absolutely smashed PS, and PS was only not really having any compelling exclusives at that time. I think the real breakthrough for PS was Uncharted, uh,
4?
Uncharted 2
2.
originally, like back in the day, and God of War 3. I think those are the games that made the PlayStation
Beat it.
like really competitive around that time. But like also it was Halo 3, which is generally regarded as like the best Halo game.
The peak.
Yeah, and also Halo Reach, which was also like one of the best Halo games,
Yeah.
like maybe second best
That's
Halo
neat.
game that also came out around the same time. Like that was also on the 360.
Can you play this on the new consoles? Like still? Do they have backwards
I
compatibility?
think they have backwards compatibility.
Okay, I like
You
that.
can download the games if you have like
Yeah.
a physical copy.
Nintendo doesn't.
Nintendo doesn't do that
Yeah,
yet.
that's kind of crazy.
Except on the Wii U. The Wii U has backwards compatibility with Wii games.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that you could play like Wii U games on the Switch, but
Well, you can,
Yeah.
but I think you have to buy it again.
Psh.
But that's scummy again. Scumtendo.
Yeah, yeah. Do people still play what was the Smash before Smash Bros? Yeah, okay, I'm thinking of Melee, I think. Like can you play Melee now, like on a new console, or do you
I-
need to buy the old hardware?
I think you do. I think you can. I'm not sure actually. Okay, so you can't.
What? And this still has like an active competitive scene, right?
Melee is one of the most active competitive scenes on in the Smash, because Melee was for people. I think it has the general reputation of like being the most balanced or like being the most uh competitive.
Like that's cool. Like I'll watch YouTube videos on like Super Smash Melee tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I have no way to get into the scene. Like I don't have is it a GameCube?
Yeah, it's GameCube,
I don't
but
have a GameCube. Can you buy a GameCube? Like how much does it cost right now? Yeah.
it's still insane that like Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is a game that came out in fucking ancient times, like before dinosaurs, is $40.
I'm kind of fine with that.
Resell.
I'm honestly fine with Nintendo not
It never drops in price.
dropping their price. It's
Like
think it's
there,
reasonable.
I mean, just goes to show that there's like a big demand behind it.
yeah.
Like that people are still willing to spend like $40 on a game that came out in that long ago. Because like compare it to a more disposable like medium, and then like let's see like how much is Modern Warfare 2, which is still a good game. So like you can buy
That's
Modern
crazy cheap.
Warfare 2 for €3.
Yep.
And that's not just pricing strategy. That's also the fact that these games are just so much more disposable than Nintendo.
Yeah.
Even even the less competitive titles of Nintendo, like Splatoon,
Mm-hmm.
were still able to like
Keep it
like
full price.
if you look
No
at
discount.
Amazon, it's still like around $50, which like nobody fucking plays Splatoon 3, like or anything like that. But still, it manages to have a competitive pricing. Monetization trends, because
Monetization trends.
this is something that also bothered me in Highguard.
iGuard.
So when Highguard comes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Free download, you
Oh my
get
God.
into it, you play the tutorial, and then you see that okay, this game is like barely or even like out of early access. It's still like kind of just like started. It already has a battle pass. It already has
Huge.
like bunch of skins you can buy, and it has a roadmap of like chapters that like oh, new gun, new skins. And I already dislike the idea of every single multiplayer game having a battle pass, but that you release the game and you already are like trying to create FOMO about like, oh, there's this new skin, limited edition skin that's gonna drop in like a few months.
Would you rather the game have like a full sticker price up front, like $40, and then not have the cosmetics?
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's
Right.
like I don't really care about that. To me, it's more about the fact that nobody cares about the game uh before they actually get to play it, and it's fun and it's exciting. So why are you trying to like create this FOMO so that maybe people will be stupid enough to just like spend money on it quickly, even before they had the chance to experience the game for what it is. Like, it just released, and then you already
Mhm.
have a battle pass, and you already have a roadmap for things that are going to be out in the future,
Yeah.
which just makes me feel like that you're selling me well, not selling because it was free to play, I guess,
Yeah.
but you're giving me an incomplete game, and then you're expecting me to be excited and pay for shit, like it's like when you're going down in the street and you just see like a poster about like like a big billboard about like there's this fucking performer coming to town, and then you have no fucking idea like who is this, like I never heard of this person in my life. Why are you trying to be on my face about it? It's the same thing of like you play this brand new game, like who are you, like genuinely who are you?
Yeah.
Why should I spend this money?
Yeah. I think they expect you to enjoy the game first, though. Honestly, they don't. I'm honestly fine with just like that type of monetization as long as the game is free to play. There's like a lot of games like Team Fortress 2 that I never would have played if it wasn't free to play. And so I struggle to hate on like the free game strategy of having the game be free and then selling cosmetics. Like that's
I don't think
I
that's a
appreciate that,
I don't think
honestly.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't think selling cosmetics is a problem. I think the problem comes when you lack in showing um some kind of niche that you filled with your video game, and then also uh you like slap the consumers in the face with the battle pass. I think Team Fortress is an interesting option here because I think Team Fortress is one of the most charming like games
Hmm.
that you can play. Like, it has a really fun fan base. It's one of the it's like the most fun casual shooter that you can pick up, in my opinion. Like, still,
So if the game is good, you can spend
the
money on
game
it.
is really fucking good, and like even then, like the cosmetics that you buy, you know TF2 doesn't have that much of a competitive market, but it still has a market. So you can sell, you can trade, you can like exchange
Hmm.
things.
I
So
do like trading in games. I wish
yeah,
they bring that
yeah,
back.
so it's like not the same as in Valorant or League, where you just pay a flat price
Yeah.
for like, and then you have it, but you can't do anything with it. You
Yeah.
just gave us money for pixels.
Yeah. I kind of hate that.
Uh, like, I know we're not gonna get back to like Call of Duty multiplayer, which I really liked. That like, there you would level up and on a weapon, and then you would get skins for the weapon, like different textures. Like, if you would
They still have that.
If you yeah something like, and then you max out the weapon, you get the golden skin
Whoa.
or like stuff like that.
I think now they have like the diamond turbo black
Yeah,
ice.
yeah, shit like that. But it started in Black Ops 2 where they just started selling like really cool. And I did pay. I did buy like a couple of skins in Black Ops.
Ooh.
But there it was less exploitative because it was like you could buy a texture which you could apply to any gun.
Okay.
You could apply the texture to any gun that you have. Now it's more like we are releasing skins, a group of skins, which is gonna cost you like $100 for this 5 very specific weapons, and you
Yeah.
will like 2 of those weapons, so you will buy the entire package because it is more valuable to buy the package in whole than buy the 2 separate skins that you want just for the guns that you would want. Because of course it's gonna be priced that way because it's gonna be like if you buy in bulk, it's gonna be a huge discount.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm fine with that. I feel like if it doesn't affect the gameplay, it's fair game. Like if you want to get fancy pixels, people can spend money on that. That's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't affect me if I'm not playing the game. Or like if it does affect me, where it's like I can't play the Nintendo game without dropping like $300 first on the console, which is super
Yeah.
hard. I don't like that. Um, but if some other guy wants to buy a whole bunch of fancy pixels and I just want to play the game for the game, it doesn't. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I think that you have a really mature approach to this. That like
But
really consumer conscious approach. Because I'm not like that. I like fancy pixels.
yeah.
I like to have skins, but I don't like that. Pretty much in every game at this point, you have to spend money on it.
I've spent a shit ton of money on pixels. Like I
Yeah,
like I have a CS knife, right?
yeah,
Um,
same.
yeah,
Like,
but like I can trade that afterwards. I wish that more games would go towards that approach. Like I honestly would have like half the number of hours in Team Fortress 2 that I have now if I wasn't able to trade things. Like so a lot of that time is sitting in trade servers, just
yeah,
shitting
looking
around,
for.
trying to find something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And like customizing my loadout. I like that. You know, there's a market going on. It adds a whole extra dimension to the game, right? It's not
It
just about
makes it
shooting people.
feel alive
Yeah,
a bit more
yeah,
than just having static paywalls, and that's
yeah,
also kind of my problem with it. Is that if it was more, you could think about it more as an investment, I would be more okay with it.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
don't have that luxury. You a lot of times Valorant, League, um, or like High Guard, Overwatch,
Hmm.
any of these games, you don't have the luxury of trading in anything that you own. The only thing you could realistically do is sell your account,
Yeah,
which you're gonna get a fraction of the price that you have spent on the skins, which makes it not reflect any actual value. In CS, there's a limited amount of number of a certain items, which makes it so that there is a genuine market of like, this thing is more rare because there's genuinely not a lot of numbers of it out there,
yeah.
and maybe it's not, you're not able to acquire it anymore because the last number of it is out.
And the price is actually set by the consumers as well. It's actually like
Yeah,
supply and demand. Not,
that's what happened. What I saw is that like my USPS went from like 100 euros from the matter of months. Now it's 210.
oh, which one do you have?
It's
Whiteout.
no, it's Cayman.
Okay, I don't
Uh,
know actually.
it's the one that has the eye, the lizard eye,
Oh, sick. Okay, yeah, yeah.
and it's factory new.
Oh yeah.
So like, but it's just like, the fact that there's a limited number of it, it's a market, makes it so much more acceptable in my
I do
eye.
prefer that as well. I'm surprised that more games aren't doing that. Like I guess some of the issues are is that you have to like worry about regulating it. Like you do have a bunch of gambling CS sites. Like CS got some huge pushback from like governments and stuff like that. Like they almost shut it
Yeah.
down. And also it's difficult to distribute the items in a way that's like random
Yeah.
without adding gambling to it somehow, which I suppose also there's a really good reasons. Like I don't like that either. Gambling's bad. But
And it's really hard to avoid it in CS with
the gambling,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what games like Fortnite and stuff like that, which have like a more childish focus, right, where they're
Yeah.
focusing sort of on kids. They don't want to add those mechanics. But yeah. Other than that, I feel like there would be a way to implement rare skins and have a trading system that would work.
I guess the conclusion would be to don't gamble, fuck Epic Games, Don't spend too much money on a console. Make sure that you buy it for the right reason, because you want to play some good exclusive games.
Yeah, and don't buy pixels
Yeah,
for overpriced.
unless you have a lot of money. All right.